Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Zenless Zone Zero reaction. Today we have the Lumite Mine theme. I'm going to be listening to the exploration and the battle theme, albeit it will be the combined version from Finding Purposes. So, I'm sorry if I miss 20 or 30 seconds of the song that you really wanted me to hear. It seems like the runtime is pretty close to that of the standalone ones. I'm just assuming that there's not much else going on in the exploration theme, so that makes sense why this would be shorter here, and then I get basically the full version of the battle theme. But Ravos is the one that wanted me to get to this, and a lot of people agreed, and more people helped correct and find good versions of this online. So until the next album is released, which is probably in a day or two as of recording, I'm going to be listening to this today, and without further ado, let's go! Okay. Oh, that's getting industrial. Guess that makes sense. It's a mine. Using the sound design of the trucks. Okay. I hear the engines. Ooh. Ooh. This is really cool for a mining theme. Just made out of sounds you would hear around the mine. All sound design. It's a little crusty, a little bit clanky, but that's exactly what it should be. Ooh. Okay. A little bit of march in here. Everybody stop production. The drill instructor has shown up. Ooh, ooh. That's a pingy snare. Very pingy. Oh, battle theme. Okay. Oh, that's completely different. I thought it was going to be built off the same vibe. They were like, no. Bring me the 2000s post-hardcore punk band. Fantastic synth. I love that sound. There's still something so garagey about the sound though. You can tell it's well produced, but it kind of feels a little bit more grungy. I'm sure that's entirely intentional. There's that Rob Zombie chug. Yeah. Ooh. Great transition. That's a fantastic loop back to the first motif on that synth. Okay, very much not what I expected when it came to the battle theme. I thought it was going to be based off of the exploration theme. Usually when they do stuff like this between like exploration and battle, they try to like share some DNA, but this really felt like they were like, you know, let's not lean too hard into the, I get we're at a mine, but maybe. So, I mean, it worked. It sounded great. I was just not expecting it. That exploration theme was so unique. I don't think I've heard a song that was like literally and exclusively just mining sounds and like general like tones you would find around that area. You had like pickaxes, trucks, just various general equipment, maybe a jackhammer or two like in the background a little bit, just as like a subtle texture. There was a lot happening there. It was very fun, like mechanical, of course, in its like general tone, that industrial flavor, but it had so much going into it for the percussive quality of it. It was literally all percussion. I mean, the whole thing was effectively just, hey, what can we get that makes noise? And on a construction site, you're going to get basically nothing but things that make noise. So you can really take all of that, throw it into a pot and make something out of it. And that's what they did here. And it's just really interesting to hear it, especially at the changes and transformations they were doing throughout the track, like having those like truck engines in there. Like that's such an interest, like it's straight up a tractor, you know, like just in there. And it sounded so unique. Again, I don't think I've heard a place not just use like samples from a construction site, because that's been done before, but like literally leaning so hard into it, you fell in. And I think it works really well, like that grittiness, that like a little bit of mess that was in the whole project, because you really can't mix that sort of sound perfectly. There's too much going on, too many frequencies in there, but that's also kind of what gives it its quality, you know? You're gonna have that problem kind of working with all these different samples, but they managed to make it work somehow. They used just enough to not overstep the boundary of going too far, and I think that's really respectable. And then when the battle theme came in, I was really thrown off again. I was just very, very thrown by them basically completely abandoning that first exploration theme and deciding to go for something entirely different, yet at the same time kind of keeping that industrial rock metal sound in there. And that's why I was getting like the Rob Zombie kind of feel, because it's very chuggy at that one spot especially, and the whole thing just kind of having this like more like post-hardcore sound, which kind of works for the whole trash tone, you know? All that distortion in there and all these different qualities going on are going to kind of resemble just slightly that same tone. So while they definitely didn't use anything from that first song, they didn't necessarily completely abandon it. They just decided to make it an actual song that would get the player pumped up instead of just being like atmospheric noise going on in the background, which again totally makes sense when you want to separate those moments in the game. I'm just so much more used to them having some sort of a transitional aspect to them where like you go immediately from one into the other, and instead of just crossfading into a completely different track that sounds nothing like it, they usually try to at least keep some of the instruments consistent, you know? So you're not completely losing that identity of where you are. But again, having just the tone of that industrial post-hardcore sound is kind of exactly what they should have for a battle theme in this area, and I don't think just using the normal like sound design stuff they had from the exploration theme, I don't think that would have really fit at all. So I think they made a good call there. It was just a brave one, and I can't say I'm mad about it. They did a great job at managing that, and they made it work together somehow despite sounding so vastly different that it doesn't at first glance feel like it should. But again, with that industrial post-hardcore sound, that punky, gritty distortion in there, kind of makes it feel like it belongs in this location, you know? Even though it's not as upfront and obvious as the exploration theme is, they still went for this general essence of the vibe of a construction zone. I mean, in a construction zone, a mine, you're probably going to be hearing one of two things, and it's going to be rock of various subgenres, and of course, like country in a lot of places, but especially a lot of rock, and probably these days, a lot of punk and a lot of things that are a little bit more counterculture-y, so it totally fits in that aspect. But again, just kind of bold going the direction they did with having all of that sound design and that intrigue there that like really grabbed me from the start, and just be like, you know what, no, this now. And I can't say I hate either one. They're both really fucking good. But I think that's about all I gotta say for this one, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to another song from Zenless Zone Zero, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!